This isn't quite love. It's a little bit of lust. It's a little bit of seduction. I don't think it's love, though. It's not, I love you so. I asked Borislav what track he wanted me to listen to on the channel next, and he picked I Want to Live, so I will give Borislav what he wants. It's incredibly gentle. It really does feel like a light rainfall, or the sensation, especially when we listen to the way the piano. It's nice to have a peaceful piece that doesn't like hit us in the face with sort of like aural violence, or sort of this malevolence, or especially when we consider like all the things that we have to do in Baldur's Gate 3 and all the conflicts we experience. There's a very like sensitive, personal, emotional aspect to this song, which is really interesting to me. I also really like the instrumentation right here. You hear how there's a doubling between the piano and it sounds like the guitar plucking. It's very, very, very docile. It's such a gentle piano song. Da 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 dum ba dum ba boom boom boom. So in the left hand you have this continued rhythmic pulsation, not by way of like a different instrument, but like in the piano. It really actually sounds like a proper like piano song, right? Because it doesn't get in the way of the piano melody. It's really gentle. Now, of course, we're going to phase into the actual instrumentation here. It's also such a great effect too. You get this like twinkling of glass almost, and I find that that's a really satisfying sound quality as well. And that paints a picture of like possibility, a little bit of mystery, but generally it's also like the twinkling of stars, the possibility for new beginnings. It's weird how like certain instruments can cause us to feel certain feelings and certain perspectives. And what's really fun is that all of this is open to interpretation. So you could picture something completely different and you would be completely right. There's no right or wrong in music, which I really love.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death, cold as death.
And I wonder too, I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. When we look at lyrics like this, I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. It's interesting from a vocal perspective, death, when we resolve the phrase ends on death, right? Death, underground, depth, lower. Death is always like a sort of a morose or scary thing. So it sits at the bottom. It's something that we have that just exists underneath there. So that's also interesting. We have to look at the way that the words are set to the rhythm. I feel your breath. It's interesting because when we sustain a note, it requires a little bit more breath. I feel your breath upon my neck. That's the anchor points of the melody. I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. Sustained. It's pretty fun. Little breakdown of how we structure lyrics to lay over top of melody so that it makes sense from a linguistic perspective, but also from an emotional perspective.
I didn't know you back well then. I blame it on luck and pain.
I think that the echo is such a nice choice. Notice that we haven't really deviated too far from everything. We're still very much in this A section.
Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel.
I love that. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel. It's a plea. It's desperation a little bit. Feel. I want to feel, baby. I need to feel. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel. I want to forget everything. I want to forget the stress of my life. I want to experience what it means to feel emotion with you. And that's why we have this sort of pleading quality here.
Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh darling, get me drunk and make me feel.
Yeah. That's big
it's not my fault. I'm not to blame.
Also, listen to the way that we sing that. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. It's very impassioned, very sensitive. And even if you were saying that, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. The way that we put emphasis on that, with the way that the notes are laid out. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. I'm not to blame. That's exactly what we would say in English. And so it's really useful, and it's incredibly well written lyrics, because they are matching what the tonal quality of the words are when we speak them. And that's really important.
These ain't my sins. I broke my chains. There's more to do, and I still want to live.
Notice that when we say, there's more to do and I still want to live, when we do that, underneath there's this little bit of like sort of mysterious trauma swelling. And I think that that emphasizes the fact that we don't want to die.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. Cold as death.
Yeah, the call and response is really fun too. Cold as death. Also, the fact that now we pivot from a male to a female singer, it very much feels like we're singing together but separately. It's very much like my idea, your idea, my idea, your idea. And also there's an inherent feeling of conflict or relationship, because we have a duet, and a duet is always geared towards the other person. It's a conversation.
I feel your heart beating my soul. Our future's bound, our bodies know.
When we think about doo-doo-doom, doo-doo-doom, I feel your heartbeat in my soul, our future bounds, our bodies know. There's a sensuality there, right? This isn't quite love. It's a little bit of lust. It's a little bit of seduction. I don't think it's love, though. It's not, I love you so. It's not that.
Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh, darling, get me drunk, invite me.
There too, there's an inherent confidence in that, which is really like a true invitation. I'm blood like wine, I want it in. It feels very different than the first verse, which was a little bit more pleading, a little bit more worried or scared. Whereas this verse is very like, I wanted you, baby. Like, come here. You know what I mean?
It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins. I broke my chains. There's more to do if I can only live.
This is gorgeous because this is much more introspective. There's more to do if only I could live. It's not loud. It's not loud. It's very close to the mic. There's more to do if only I could live. Very introverted. Very, I'm going to die.
I can't go yet. Don't let me die. I'll never stop until I'm done.
That's a really nice harmony because it really feels that they are united, and so it almost feels like they are now in bed together and they're having a quiet, intimate moment as a couple where they're laying next to each other. I'll never stop until I'm done. It's very, 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 very soft and quiet and very like, I see you, you see me, I see you.
But just tonight, maybe I'll rest in peace.
You notice how that's it. Maybe I'll rest in peace. Not quite peaceful. The way that it lands, it's a little bit more like a question rather than a period, which is really interesting because there we have the sensation of, is it really peace? Unlikely. And then that twinkling again.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. I hear your heart beat in my soul, our endings bound, our bodies know. I can't go yet.
me die.
I want to live.
My only one.
Yeah, now there's a push and pull. It's actually interesting because now we take the duet, and instead of making it boring and just having one voice repeat, basically, because we've had A, B, C, and now we're actually in a D, even though the rhythm and the melody hasn't really changed. Now we're alternating voices, which is really nice because it keeps this thing kind of moving, because it is a fairly slow song. We don't want to get stuck in some repeated patterns because we want to keep you engaged. And so the fact that now it's really a conversation is really fun. I can't go yet, don't let me die, I want to live, my only one. And the thing is, both singers now have their own agendas, their own feelings on the matter, their own perspectives on the words, which then aids them in sounding pleadful or pleading or desperate, and so on and so forth.
Only one. There's more to do if we can only leave. The clock won't stop, and this is what we get.
And then you hear the sound of the clock, actually. Gorgeous. Super simple, super lyrically fluid song, very gentle in its nature, and really powerful. And I assume this is related to Asterion, but I'm not positive. But there is certainly this sense of peaceful unrest that occurs in it, and it's really great. I'm planning on streaming Baldur's Gate 3 here at some point. I don't know when, but it's certainly on my to-do list for at least sometime soon. If you'd like to check that out, or any of the other streams, I stream on Twitch pretty much every day. Feel free to come check it out. I also stream on YouTube thanks to Multistream. Feel free to like, subscribe. There's more Baldur's Gate on the channel, more Baldur's Gate on the channel to come, of course, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.